Craig, what's it like to have your old school here watching on where you kick a few goals?
Yeah, obviously it's a good chance for the kids to come down and have a look. But yeah, I guess it brings back some memories. I think 2009 was when I graduated, so a while ago now.
No win in 4, a bit of a mid-season lull. What do you put that down to?
Probably a bit of bad luck. Obviously we've had a few injuries and in key areas as well. So obviously in the last game we had no centre backs, so we had to readjust. But I think we've got Nico will be back and Jakobsen will be back, and a few other boys are close to returning as well. So at home against Perth, it's a great chance for us to stop that run of the no wins. But it's going to be a tough game.
How do you cope with the loss? Jordan, good to have Jakobsen back. You're still only one really first choice centre back playing. How do you cope?
Well, I think we played with Mickey and Jakobsen at centre back against Newcastle, and we did well. I thought we could have won that game. So I think with them two in there, we are quite solid. But it just obviously not having both centre backs in there it disrupts the formation a little bit. But we can manage that, and against Perth it's going to be a tough game with them being top of the ladder by a few points. So we'll see how we go.
And they've travelled well this year. They've probably been the team to beat this year. How do you beat them? Is there a weakness?
I think scoring first will certainly help. I think the games where they've conceded first, it's opened them up a bit, and I think they're a team that is defensively very well structured. So if we can score first against them and force them to have to come further up the pitch, it'll work well in our favour.
Jordan's hobbling around the moon, but still, when do you expect him to return?
Hopefully before the finals, but I'm not too sure.
And Halloran was also doing laps around. He seems to be recovering quite well.
I think he's a couple of weeks away.
So Nicola's ready to go, you think, Friday?
Yeah, I think he's ready to go. He's trained last week and this week, so obviously the coach makes the decision on who plays. But yeah, I think he's fit and ready to go.
How about, obviously you're going to miss George, international duty. That's probably another negative. I mean, you haven't really got much depth at the back or at the front now, so it's really testing the depth of Adelaide, where Perth has got heaps of depth.
Yeah, it is. I think, but we showed earlier in the season that we can play well without a few players in the starting lineup. So it does make it difficult, and it makes it much harder to find that consistency as well when you get injuries and you have to chop and change the squad around. But there's no hiding from where we are. We're in a decent position, and we have a good chance to pick up 3 points this weekend.
So where are the goals going to come from? Because there's 2 in the last 4, and I think if you score more goals, obviously you're going to win games. Where are they going to come from?
Well, hopefully myself, I can put a couple away. But I think Geordie's been good in training, and hopefully he'll start to bang some in. And Nico back, he's got 4. So, I think we can score goals, and we have been creating chances. It's about being more clinical in that final third. But I think we just have to focus on our individual roles and our duties and carry that out. And then as a team, we'll be able to create chances.
Are you looking over your shoulder at the moment? Like, 5th, 6th, even 7th?
You have to look at both spots, really. You have to look above you and behind you. We know that Newcastle are creeping up slowly, and we know we have to pick up as many points at home as possible. And 3 points will be a massive scalp for us this Friday. It's going to be tough.
How do you assess your own form over the past month?
I think I've been good. Just haven't got the goals that I've scored in the previous weeks. I'm not worried about my individual form or anything like that. I look at it as a team. I think I've been doing well, and I think as a team we haven't been doing that badly. We've just been missing that cutting edge or that final ball and finishing off that chance. We have created chances in each of the games we've played, so if we can put them away, it's a completely different scenario. But we are where we are on the table, and we just have to keep pushing and working hard as a team and take those chances when they come.
Is it frustrating for the players with Mark Kerr's situation, not knowing whether he's staying or going?
No, we don't focus on that, to be honest. There's no talk about that with the team in the change room or anything like that. we try and put that as a completely different situation, and we just work with what we have now. Obviously, we'll see in the coming weeks whether that gets sorted with that side of things. But as players, we just focus on the next game and what we're going to do this Friday for starters, and the games beyond.
Will that have any bearing, Jason, on your future at Adelaide? I mean, you came to the club under Marco. If he goes, is that, I know you're contracted for a couple of years, but does that change your thinking?
No, not really. I'm contracted for the next 2 seasons after this. Obviously, opportunities arise at certain situations, but for now I'm purely focused on Adelaide, and whether the coach stays or goes, that's not what I'm thinking about right now. We have to pick up as many points as we can before the end of the season, and we want to finish in that top 4 to have a home final at least, and we'll see how we go.
But in saying that, there was a bit of a dabble, I think, from Korea in the transfer window. So is this the life of a footballer where maybe next window someone else might come in for you? Are you going to wait for the right moment, or?
Yeah, obviously there's been interest, but yeah, for me, like I just said, I put all that kind of aside. I'm focused on trying to do well for the rest of this season with Adelaide and really try and win something. Obviously, we won the cup, but I feel that if we can finish in that top 4, at least, then we're in a good position to do well in the finals. And hopefully, with everyone back fit by then, we'll have the strongest squad and everyone fighting for places, which brings the best out in everyone. So, obviously there's options when playing well, but for me, I'm happy where I am at the moment, and we'll leave for what happens in the future for then.
Marco alluded to him having talked to the club by end of Feb. It's we're going into March. Would you rather the club do something sooner rather than later and keep putting it off? For me, I'm not too bothered. Obviously, it's for the coach and the club to sort that out. And like I said before, for myself and for the other players, we have to keep the talk purely about the next game and focus on that. We can't start thinking about outside things that really can't affect the way that we play as such. The coach is here now, and we're working with him as best we can, and we trust in him, and I think everyone would be very happy if he stays. But we just work with what it is now and try to do the best that we can.
It'd be nice for Yordi to get the duck off his back. He said he's been good in training. Do you feel like it's just maybe a first goal away from going on a bit of a run? Is that what you mean? Yeah,
for sure. I think it's always that sort of situation you find. I think a couple seasons ago we had probably a similar situation where Bruce hadn't scored in a few games, and then he got one and ended up finishing with 12 in the season in the second half, and he killed it. So, I think if Geordie can get one, then he'll certainly pop up with a few more.
Can I talk about young gun Carlo Aliento? You've sort of taken him under your wing. What's his future look like? Yeah,
good. I hope so. Anyway, he's been good. He's been good since he's come in with the group, and the times that he's come on the pitch, he's been well. He's one young player that's doing well and just has to keep his head down, keep working hard and improving. And I think he has a bright future.
What do you like about him in terms of his game style? And he's obviously pretty good at taking free kicks like yourself.
Yeah, I think just the fact that he's very positive. He's got a very good left foot, and I think he's showing more maturity in the training sessions now than when he first came in as well. I think he's becoming more comfortable in the environment, and he's adapting. And I think if we give him more time, then he'll certainly develop into a good player.
Do you like taking on that mental?
Last
sort
question.
Of role?
Sorry?
Do you like taking on that sort of mental sort of role with the younger guys?
I just think it's something that comes naturally with when you get a bit older. You try to, I guess, bring your experience and advice to younger players. So for me, I'm still in the middle age group. I'm by no means, I don't think, an old player, but yeah, wherever I can, if I can help someone with advice, I will.